Okay, so let's do our collar. So we have a top collar with the fusing and an under collar that does not have fusing. So now let's put the collars together face to face, and of course that means right sides together. Line them up at the edges. One collar is a little bit bigger, that's the top collar. The other collar is a little bit smaller, that's the under collar. And we're going to sew all the way around left side, the top, and on the right side. That's going to be a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. We're going to start on the right side and make sure you backstitch, of course, at the beginning, and then you'll backstitch when you get to the very end. You're going to go down the right side. Once you get close to the top edge, you're going to have your needle down, press your foot up, and you're going to make that pivot turn. So here's that pivot turn, needle down, presser foot is going to go up, and you're going to turn and then continue sewing across the top. Now we're going to get ready for another pivot. You've made it across the top, needle down, press your foot up, and we're going to turn and sew the left side. Make sure once you get to the end you backstitch. We're going to get ready to understitch. So remember, the top collar has the fusing, under collar does not have fusing. So push that seam allowance toward the under collar. Get in there as closely as you can, understitch it an 1/8 of an inch away from the seam. Again, seam allowance went toward the under collar, the piece with no fusing. Now we're going to understitch the left side and the right side. Just get in there as closely as you can. Again, being sure the seam allowance goes towards the under collar, the side with no fusing. And here is the opposite edge. Remember, make sure the seam allowance goes toward the side with no fusing. That's our under collar. can see the understitching on the side with no fusing. And then our top collar has no stitching, no understitching is on the top collar. That's the side that does have the fusing. And when you line up your collars at the bottom edge, the top is bigger, the bottom is smaller, and that's intentional. All right, that's it. See you in class.